Hello and welcome to the Tidy Mind channel. We're going to do another consciousness practice meditation where we can practice being together. We can practice being with life, being conscious to our outside world and what's going on instead of the inside voice in the head having all of the power and pulling us and sucking us into whatever drama it's creating in the moment. One of the main reasons for doing these is for myself, so that if I go into a degree of unconsciousness again and I'm lost in the pain of whatever my mind is saying about my outer world and my life and what's going on and what should be going on and what does this mean and all of the dialogue that happens. If I get sucked into deep unconsciousness and deep pain, I want to have something that I can listen to that can start to wake me back up or pull me back out of that space of pain, of emotional pain. A reminder, something that I can say to myself or remember, or the presence, the energy, the beingness, the level of consciousness that I'm in now could be enough to bring me out. And it could be enough to bring you out if you are also like me and you go into levels of consciousness. And it's fluctuating. And if I ask myself what I would like to, something I'd like to remember is that from this space of more presence, more alertness during the day, more consciousness, that it's not silent inside my head. I'm not unconscious just because I'm hearing thoughts. If I'm hearing them and watching them and not buying into them or engaging with them or arguing with them or getting sucked in by all of the thoughts that the voice in the head, the ego, is saying about everything. If I can just watch that, then that is presence. That is consciousness. I am conscious of the voice in my head. And as I've been going each day, I've noticed less and less moments of pain flowing through me, which is it's stuck energy wanting to be released. It's that power the ego has, that stuck energy. It's painful and it comes up. And if I can just notice that pull of pain inside of me, and I can just think to myself, oh, okay, well, that's the stuck energy that my ego has been using for power. And if I can know that and remember that and sit with that and not get wrapped up in the dialogue of what the voice is saying, then I can reclaim that power and use that power then to stay even more conscious more of the time. It's the practice is a shift from the ego, the voice in the head, the mind having so much power to pull you into unconsciousness, to pull you into the drama, the problem creating, or the power being more held by your alert attention, awareness of what's going on in your internal world, meaning what the voice is saying, what the ego is talking about, what the ego is feeling, and starting to spend more time using that focus to just be with what's on the outside. So as I'm going, I'm spending less time engaged with the problem maker, and I'm spending more time being with just the watcher of all of that, sitting in that, sitting in the energy of watching it, being that thing that's watching, being that thing that's breathing in and out. And it takes that ego getting weaker and weaker, meaning you've reclaimed more and more stuck energy. And you're just being with life. And all through the day, I'm just refocusing or reminding myself or coming back to right now. What's happening right now? Some phrases or some words that I can hear my ego voice say, that's kind of an alert bell for me to say, oh, okay, that's the ego trying to repossess me or trying to be me, is it will talk about what it needs, what it wants, and what it thinks. And if I hear those thoughts in my head, but I just want, but I just need, but I just think, then that's kind of a bell that goes off to say, the ego wants, the ego needs, the ego thinks. Now, there are actual physical needs, but there's really no thinking to that. It's just a feeling of hunger or a feeling like I need to go to sleep, or there's physical needs. But what we're talking about is egoic needs, emotional. But I need to feel, I just need to feel this, and I need to feel happier, and I need something more going on in my life so that I can feel more, and I know that is the voice of the ego. And I know if I engage with it, and what does that mean? That means I sit with it and try to figure out how I can help it feel that more. Oh yeah, you're not yeah, you need to be happier. You need to be fed some outer situation that will help you feel that more. And if I go off and figure out, use my energy trying to figure out how to get it that thing, get it more happy, get it whatever, and it will tell me, oh well, this is what I need to be more happy. This is what I need around me. This is what I need people to do and say. This is what needs to happen. It always has a suggestion to what it thinks might make it more happy. But that's fueling, giving power to that ego. Me, what I am, the consciousness that I am, doesn't, that's non-existent. That's not, it is complete. It is not looking for more, better, greater. All of that is what the ego will say. And it creates a lot of pain because it's really hard to keep it satisfied. And maybe you get it satisfied for a second and then it creates another problem. Well, yeah, but I don't have this, this, and this. Well, and I don't feel this, and look what this person is doing, and they're not making me feel what I want to feel, and if they loved me, that this, all the dialogue, the movie, the drama. Another thing that's really helping is when I notice it saying those words, I think, I want, I need. I use the visual of seeing that thing talking on a stage, and I see it just acting out this drama, and I need this and I need that, and this should happen more, and I deserve this and that, and and I watch it, and I know that I am not it, but I am the thing sitting there watching it. And as I watch it, I become more grounded in the thing that is watching. And then I realize in that moment that I can either sit there and continue to watch it flail around about its unhappiness and what it needs and what it's not getting and what it should have but doesn't have, and or I could look around me at the life that is right in front of me, and I can just be with that. I can just flow with that. But that ego on the stage is always fighting for my attention. No, 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 don't look at, like, that's not enough. Like, how boring is that? Why would you want to watch that? Look at me over here in this drama, and you should come over here with me and try to figure out how we're going to have, oh my God, we got to figure out our life purpose, and we got to figure out this and that, and how can we be more success so we can get more attention, and how. Or you can look around you and the actual reality of life that you are in this moment, and be with it. Let that thing be on the stage talking and excited one moment and then total chaos and turmoil, and nothing is happening. Or you just look at where you are and where life has floated you to in this moment, the scene you're in the outer world in this moment. You have a choice then. And you're not trying to, from that place of watching it, you're not trying to make that thing on the stage stop saying what it's saying, doing what it's doing. You just realize that you're not it and don't engage with it. Just choose not to give it power by engaging. And by engaging, I mean trying to figure out how to help it get what it needs. It wants you to do that because then it can possess you. And then what you're engaging in the world in, you're making choices from that ego voice, that crazy thing playing out its drama on that stage in your head now can control your actions and behaviors. And now you're making choices in your daily life, trying to get that thing, something it says it needs and wants in that moment that will make it happy. And guess what? You change your whole entire life. And that's not real easy. You change everything. You have really difficult conversations. You hurt people. You do all this stuff. And you get it to where it says it wanted to be. And guess what? It may be content for a couple of hours. I've made it. Okay, yes, thanks. This is it. Yeah, but you know, you know what? They should be missing me. Like, they don't even act like they miss me. It just doesn't stop. It will always be needing and wanting and thinking. And you will always be trying to help it feel better, to calm its emotions. Or you can just watch it. You don't have to give your energy or make choices in life. And I wouldn't make any choices based off of anything my ego said I needed to do. If you're feeling a lot of pain inside emotionally, that player on the stage, that voice, that ego, is resisting how life is. It's looking on the outside of you, some situation or some person, and it's judging it as, this isn't how it's supposed to be. This is wrong. This should be different. You better change this. And it just is. Life just is. But it resists it. I don't like it like this. It shouldn't be like this. It should be different than this. I should have something different. Okay. What if that went away? What if that judgment, that constant judgment of this is good and this is bad. So if I say it's bad, then you got to do something about it. What if that went away? And you never heard that anymore. You never heard if it's good or bad. You would just be with things without resistance. You would be incredibly present with that thing. And maybe that thing is, maybe you're sitting there with somebody who's attached to a big ego that's controlling them, and they're having all kinds of horrible behaviors towards you. Maybe they're just emotional, behaviors. Maybe they're not physically abusive, but but you would move away from that, not from a place of, oh my God, you can't treat me like this, but from a place of moving with life. That presence would move you. That life force would move you. And that person sitting there in that big ego would be very bored with you, because when you are just being and you don't have that voice of, well, this is good and this is bad, you don't react to the things other people do while they're in their pain or their ego. So you're not giving them a that's what the mind wants. That's what an ego wants, is a reaction so that it can have a drama with you. And you're just being, just being there. Not reacting to, because you're not labeling it as good or bad. You're not judging it. You're just being. And they won't like that. Their ego will not let them stay with you because you won't satisfy their need for drama, their need for engagement, their need for, an ego always needs engagement. Your ego in your head, that voice in your head, is always wanting your engagement, meaning, oh, okay, let me see if I can get her to do something to fix my unhappiness. Or it wants the engagement of another person and their consciousness. Okay, well, let me see if I can do this and get them to react in such a way that they engage with me and let me feel what I want to feel. The ego's always wanting to feel something. Sometimes it says it wants something, but really it just wants to feel hurt. It wants to feel done wrong. It wants to feel the victim. So it will provoke another ego to get it to react, and then it gets to be hurt by that ego. It's just, so if you're in a relationship and the person you're with goes into, you notice that they're going into deep unconsciousness, meaning the actions and behaviors that they are doing are coming from pain. And you can tell, you can tell, because when a person is not listening to that voice in the head, and that voice in the head is not in pain and trying to control that person, saying, you better say this and do this, and how could they say this to you, and they're talking about you bad in their head, and the ego's talking bad about you to them and saying you think this and you think that, you can tell, because it will make them act in a way that tells you they're in deep pain and unconsciousness. It's not hard to tell. And if you can stay conscious, stay non-reactive while with that person, that presence about you, that non-reactive state, will either wake them up and bring them out of their pain, or it also has the if you're not, careful, it can take you down and put you into deep unconsciousness, and now you're reactive, and now you're having a drama with this person. But if you can stay there, if it doesn't bring them out of it, if your non-reaction doesn't bring them out of it, then they'll just spin like a tornado away from you, and they'll go find someone else that will engage with them. You will become very, you're no fun. You're boring. Like, I can't get what I need from you, and their mind will come up with a reason, an excuse to leave you. Yeah, I can't be with you anymore. And you're just sitting there. You're not even reacting. You may even be aggrieved, like, okay, I'm sorry you feel that. Okay. You're not reacting, you're just being. It can't coexist. One will have to, you'll either have to go down to their level of consciousness or they'll have to come to your level of consciousness. But it doesn't it doesn't mix well. I thank you so much for joining me, if you've joined me here live or if you're watching the replay. Again, if this helps you, that's wonderful. If if you were able to spin into a more conscious place from listening, that's wonderful. If your ego voice, that your mind, the voice in your head said, I can't listen to this is boring, what in the world what is this? I got other things to do, and that's okay too. I know I was listening to Eckhart Tolle, and he was doing a meditation, and I kept hearing my ego voice. I can't do this. This is too hard. Like it was trying, it was trying to do the meditation. It's like, oh, I should be in the, oh, why can't I do? And I finally had to realize that that was not my voice. That voice in the head is not my voice. That's the mind voice, the ego voice. And I was able to look at it then and say, oh, yeah, it's okay. The ego can't do it. The ego may try to join you in the spiritual practice. Yes, we must be spiritual usually because it thinks it's going to get something out of it. I'll get, if I'm conscious, then I'm spiritual, then I'll have a spiritual identity. So it will try to, like, yes, let's do this spiritual, let's master this, let's, and then it makes it hard, and it makes it like, oh, and it convinces you that you can't do it, you'll never be able to do it, the mind's too loud. And it is what is too loud. It is talking about itself. And you can just nod. Yeah, okay. Same thing was happening today. I haven't had a massage in years, and my sweet husband called and scheduled me one, and I went in and I laid down, and I could hear my mind say, "Okay, oh, I bet we can. I bet we can really enjoy it now since we've been practicing this present stuff." And I was kind of sucked into the voice, thinking it was my voice, and I finally snapped out of it, like, "Oh wow, it's trying to." Oh, you got to enjoy. Why aren't you enjoying this? Oh, you should be feeling you should be so present and noticing every movement and not listening to the voice in your head. And I had to realize what I am is not the talker in the head. The talker in the head is struggling with this massage, saying how I should be enjoying it and I'm not, and I should be more focused and I'm not, and I should be more present and I'm not. And that's just how easy it is to go into that unconsciousness with it. I didn't go into deep unconsciousness, as in it wasn't painful. It was annoying, it was aggravating. So there was disturbance there, and that was resistance. And I then just said, well, I didn't really say anything. I just became aware that I could allow the talker to talk. I could allow my body to receive the massage. It was for the body, not the mind. I went to the massage for the body, and no matter what the mind was doing or saying, the body is getting massaged. But the mind will always make a problem, like, oh, it should be better, I should be more relaxed, I should be more focused, I should be enjoying this more, I should be more present. And it can't be any of those things. It can only talk. It can only want, need, and think. So thank you so much for joining me. And I hope to do one of these during the day. That was the plan today. And life just didn't flow that way. And my mind resisted that too. Oh, I wanted to do that. I really wanted to do that. And I just had to watch its resistance. Be with it. Let it be. Let it be resistant. Not engaging with it, trying to make it stop resisting. It's resistant. It will always be resistant. It's always fussy, always doesn't like things. It just is. And the day as it flowed just was, just is. It's still flowing. I hope you have a wonderful night, and may we meet again when life decides. Have a good night.